What is that?
It's cutting edge VR, Flynn.
It looks like it's something from the future, you know?
Flynn took a trip to future London, saw something she wasn't supposed to. Now people from there are trying to kill us.
Transcend humanity with Omen.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the final of the Amazon University Esports UK and Ireland for Overwatch Spring 2023. Now, it is the final stage. It's going to be best of 7. I am here. My name is Susie. I'm here with Toasty, who is going to help us go through this crazy matchup. Are you excited for today, Toasty? It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely, it's going to be a good one. I mean, we've had such a build-up to this so far throughout the season. Two teams that I think are very deserving of the spot in finals right now. If you can't see above our names right now, it's Kentamine versus Portsmouth. So it's not quite the Warwick-Portsmouth rivalry that we've had throughout the past null seasons and that sort of thing. But overall, I mean, Kentamine very deserving of their spot at the moment. They actually had quite the run through the bracket. Let's take a look at that for a moment. They lost to Warwick initially in that upper bracket, but then they took 5 consecutive victories to get here with that redemption against Warwick in the lower finals as well, 3-2. Very good stuff, and I think that Kentamine are the team to be looking at here. Portsmouth are the team to beat, though.
Yeah, I mean, we love a good redemption arc in Overwatch, don't we? So Kentamine finally getting to grips with the Warwick there and taking it all the way to the finals. It's an impressive run, considering they didn't look so hot at the beginning of the season, did they?
Yeah, I mean, Kentamine, a lot of people have been saying they got off to like an inconsistent start to the season. They took some, haphazard victories, here and there throughout Swiss, and they lost a couple of them as well. So I think the fact that they're doing so well in playoffs and got to this point, it's just a test of, it tests to how well they've improved throughout the season. Whereas on the Portsmouth side, I mean, they've been pretty consistent. They again also they lost a couple of times early on in Swiss, as most teams have, but Portsmouth took every victory in playoffs. They've just blitzed their way through, getting a couple 3-0s, and overall, they've had an impressive showing throughout the tournament. I think they are the team to really look at as the sort of higher seed, I suppose, of this finals game. And they came in from the uppers bracket, and I think that is off of the back of just some incredible flexibility from their roster, some incredible shot calling mid-fight, that sort of thing. They have really good teamwork in that sense, I suppose. So they really are the team to beat here.
Now, I think the Paladins have actually been together for quite a long time, haven't they? The majority of the team have played together in quite a few tournaments, whereas the Kentamine seem to be not quite as well rehearsed.
Yeah, I feel like Kentamine, I guess, scrappy at times with their compositions. They definitely play what they're comfortable with. They've played a lot of like dive stuff, but then thrown like a Cassidy into the mix, and it seems like on times they're not at the same page compositionally. But in terms of their actual gameplay, again, like they were inconsistent early on. Their teamwork wasn't great early on, but they really fixed that as they moved into that lower bracket. And Portsmouth, like we say, they've been together for seasons. We've got players here that have been here for so long on Portsmouth. Lukey Boy, I Don't Want to Be You, JJPT. I mean, I remember JJPT from Winter 2021 finals. I mean, that was quite a while ago. So
Yeah.
Portsmouth very clearly got a lot of synergy under their belt, and I think a lot of individual talent as well. Someone I was really impressed with in previous games was I Don't Want to Be You on that Kiriko against Warwick. They took a 2-1 win sort of in Swiss stage, and it was really impressive to me. So I think I Don't Want to Be You, a player to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, now I am really looking forward to this match today. Like we said, it is the final, so it's going to be a long one today, maybe best of 7. Do you think we are going to go to a 3-4, or do you think it's going to be a quick one?
Well, I feel like it'd be a bit disingenuous to say it'll be a quick one. I think we're going to get an absolute banger here for today's match. I did predict in the green room beforehand that we are going to have maybe a 4-2 or a 4-3 potentially. In terms of who's going to win it, I don't even know which way it's going to go. My heart says Portsmouth, but the fact that Kentamine have improved so much over the course of the playoffs and got that revenge victory over Warwick, who initially beat them 3-0, I mean, it shows how much they improved, and it shows that they have the potential to beat Portsmouth. So my brain wants to say Kentamine, my heart wants to say Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think looking at the scores as well, Warwick have been a really great team as well. And I think people might be shocked not to see them in the final tonight.
It's that long-standing rivalry, you know? I mean, Portsmouth and Warwick, I remember them in winter 2021. I remember them in previous Amazon University seasons as well. So generally just, I think the fact we're not seeing that rivalry in the finals, but rather we saw it in Swiss stage a lot this season is quite a jarring concept. But no, I think Kentamine very deserving to be here. And let's take a bit of a look at the map pool here, because this is going to be a long one. So let's take a look at what potential map types we could see here. We'll be starting off in control as per usual in your typical Overwatch series. Going ahead with the series though, hybrid, escort, push, control, escort, push. So a varied amount of map types here, and a lot of, well, actually quite a lack of hybrid, to be honest. I'm quite sad about that.
Yeah. Only one hybrid map, but it should be interesting to see how the teams go first. Do you think we'll have anybody picking the newest map, Antarctica, today when it comes to the control map?
It would have to be that, map 5, right? That map 5 control map, if this doesn't go to a 4-0, which I really don't want it to. It would come down to that, I think. And it depends whose pick it is as well. Neither of these teams have been really practiced on it throughout the season, because the maps we've been seeing these teams on has been the Lijiang, that sort of thing. We've seen Oasis, we've seen Nepal, and we've seen a bit of Ilios as well. So we haven't had the chance to see Antarctica be played as an actual map throughout the season. So I'd be very curious to see that. But we've been starting off here on Lijiang, a very varied map in terms of what you can see compositionally, I think.
Yeah, so we are going to be going into our first map for tonight, guys. It is going to be Lijiang, like we say. So what sort of heroes have these teams been playing on this sort of map up until now? What do you think we're going to see in this map today?
Wrecking Ball. That is my only answer to that. Now, it depends who's playing tank here. It looks like it's JJPT for Portsmouth, which means we are going to see the Reinhardt come out. We could also see a little bit of Wrecking Ball, as I know JJPT is at least decent at that. Lukey Boy is more of their Zarya specialist, so if we see maps that are Zarya related, we would see Lukey Boy on that, I reckon. But the TP out of spawn, probably going on to like a May or something. Whereas on the other side here for Kentamine, they've been playing this tried and tested Wrecking Ball comp throughout the entire season. It's been looking great for them, especially BBC Radio 1 here on the Sombra. The EMPs have been quick, they've been effective, and I think we are going to see them absolutely rip apart this ball composition. Sorry, the brawl comp we have here from Portsmouth.
Well, we are about to find out as the teleporter takes Portsmouth straight into the point there, and they are just going to try and hold steady here as Kentamine just kind of walk up the side. But the Wrecking Ball comes straight in here from Abigail and just tries to discomplete everybody at the backside. They're not actually standing on the point, so there's no contention here. Just kind of hanging around the back. Another teleporter to take everyone to the front, targeting down Ethan on that Zenyatta. And there's just everyone flying down here, and it looks like Portsmouth have got the upper hand here as everyone just goes down one by one. That was a great teleporter there from Lucky Boy, going to the front and taking down Ethan straight away. And we are going to get the 5th, and it's going to start counting down for Portsmouth.
Yeah, for sure. It was a very quick team fight there, just based off of the great decision-making, again, that I talked about from Portsmouth. They made the decision to run on that back line, take out Cool Beans, take out Orange W as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what led to that fight win. And then here, an early kill into Abigail, just getting caught out on the back line. It's not really that clean from Kentamine. This is what we mean when we say they're inconsistent, but as long as they disengage quickly, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they need to run back straight away since Abigail's gone down, but it looks like Portsmouth are just having a go at it, just trying to chase down anybody left standing. You see Ethan there on their own, but no, they're just going to back away to the point here, hold it for a little bit, get some of those turrets up to just dissuade them from walking in front. Lovely hack there from BBC Radio, and just try and get down Rift there, but they are going to escape back onto the point. Abigail goes down, but not before taking I Don't Want to Be You down with them with that huge swing, and it's all going on in the front here. Well, JJPT is taking the brunt of Cool Beans there with that pistol from the Cassidy. But I don't think we're going to see any more action here as they are going to back away apart from Abigail going straight in with those mines. The wall comes out from Lucky Boy to protect the team. but they're still not actually standing on the point. It might get flipped here if they don't push in, but they can't be took them out, and it has been flipped. And Kentamine finally have an opportunity here. The EMP goes off, and it's huge, but it's not to be, as pretty much all of Kentamine falls. It was a brave attempt from Kentamine.
Very brave attempt, and they did get a little bit of percentage on board, but the issue here for Kentamine is their backline aren't very well protected in the peel. Realizing that Abigail is always in that backline and ready to strike, they're being punished, right? Abigail already being spotted out here in the backline, they've heard them, and dealing with this Wrecking Ball is a key part of this composition. If the Wrecking Ball can't engage, the rest of your squad's going to fall because the aggression that Portsmouth is putting up is so great.
Lovely slam there from Abigail, finding some of that backline, not managing to take any casualties though, and I feel like they might get picked up if they're not careful there. The Shatter going down, the Transcendence is coming up even to keep everyone alive, but it did not manage to keep BBC Radio alive, unfortunately, and they're going to go down. Huge swings coming in, making everyone back away from this point, and this looks like it is going to be the win for Portsmouth here. I think it's take everyone down one by one. Abigail unable to get back to the point. And that is going to be his first map secured for Portsmouth.
Yeah, Rift very much impressing me there with how well they were dealing with Abigail in the backline, as well as the threat of the Sombra and the Tracer towards the end of that round. I think that when you have that much pressure on you as a Cassidy to try and do that anti-dive, to try and peel for your backline, despite the fact there's a mentality field there, right? Todos, there's a lot of pressure on Todos to stay alive, and so Rift doing a very good job of dealing with Abigail, dealing with BBC Radio 1, getting those kills, and overall putting out like a lot of kill feed presence throughout that round, and it allows Portsmouth to play aggressive. Once one player is down for Kentamine, everyone else just rushes forward. The TP, so good, and Lukey Boy bringing out a very strong Symmetra as they're going to continue to play on Control Center, where we're seeing the Wrecking Ball comp be played on a typically Rhine-based map.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how Abigail plays this one, and we can see straight away getting straight around the back there. Probably going to hope to pick up a little support or two if they're not careful. Oh no, Ethan goes straight away to that Junkrat mine. That must have been a very cheeky shot there, and Cool Beans follows suit by a huge Rhine Fire Strike as well. Nobody's supposed that trap, it did get destroyed, but 2 down. I feel like they just have to cut their losses back out right now, but they are still hanging around the back. It's a dangerous place to be. The point is going to get flipped, and they could get booped off at any point, being very, very cheeky there, just trying to wait for the rest of the team to join them. Oh, Ethan again! Oh,
yeah,
no.
again, just so much aggression here from Portsmouth, right? I mean, they've basically already taken this team fight because Ethan has gone down. Everyone else is going to fall as a domino effect, and a great save onto I don't want to be you on the Baptiste. So generally, Portsmouth, their decision-making is great. They're able to aggress onto the backline and deal with that threat of Ethan, of Cool Beans, before they can even get onto the point, while everyone else for Kent is just so scattered.
Yeah, big props to Rift for these little random, I'm sure it's not random, if it was me it would be completely random, but I'm sure Rift has got these very calculated Junkrat mines that are just catching Ethan every time. It's pretty nasty there. Kobe's making a huge attempt here against anybody, any pick that they can. Immortality Field come out in the mines from Abigail, hoping to get ripped, and they do succeed in doing that. They're just trying to displace everybody a bit, hopefully try to pick up maybe one of the supports. They have got rid of one of the huge damages here from the Junkrat, but it's probably not going to be enough as that window comes out from Todos there. But oh no, he's going to pay for it with his life. The Baptiste did not manage to survive that onslaught from Abigail there, jumping right into the back line. And although everything is hitting Abigail right now, they are not going down. And they've really got a little mission right now. I think they're trying to back out. You never be sure with a Wrecking Ball, can you?
Yeah, for sure. And again, right, look at how scattered Kent are right now. The fight should have been over maybe 20 seconds ago. They're still fighting, and they're actually taking it quite effectively here. I think they baited Portsmouth forward. They're going to get the flip over now unless Orange W goes down. That could change things.
Yeah, here comes the Junkrat tire though. It could be huge if they can just catch it. Yeah, got BBC Radio. I think Portsmouth might be on having less players right now, but I'm not entirely sure because they just keep coming in and going out. Here's Ethan getting picked on again. Getting straight in there. Oh, the protection scissors came out there, but it did manage to allow Ethan to get the trans off. Those mines are finding people on the point though. Oh, and JJPT having just ran straight into them there. That was a bit dangerous. I think they know that they can let this one go and then come back with an absolute vengeance, build up their ultimate. They've got time. Oh, hang on. No, Lukey Boy didn't want that. Lukey Boy wants to win right now. And that's exactly what they're going to do. There we go. First, of course, to Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth looking great right now and dropping a little bit of a plug in the chat there. Let's ignore that. JJPT get a bit of an ego on them, and I don't blame them after that map. Incredible stuff. Those engages so clean. JJPT and Rift combining so well together on those aggressive pushes, and even when it looked like Kentamine could get a couple of kills and turn a fight around, Portsmouth, they just kept it going. They kept that consistency. They played so well on the point, and like that last team fight there, so chaotic, right? It didn't end for maybe a minute and a half, and through all of that, Portsmouth were able to keep up their comms, keep up their shot calls, and keep themselves consistent, and that's what we love about Portsmouth. So they take the first map, Kent go down 0-1, and it was honestly not the greatest showing on the first map, right? I mean, quite convincing for Portsmouth.
Yeah, quite convincing for them, especially the times where I thought it was over for them. I thought, just take a step back, regroup, get your ultimates, just push him with one final shebang and get it done. But they didn't want to. And I think that's just a testament to how well this team has played together for potentially, years now, going on together. I think 3 or 4 years the team have been, friends and playing together. And you can really tell they've got a great synergy there. They know when to push, they know when to back out, and they know who they can trust to, 1v4 on the point.
Yeah, and in a lot of situations, that player was Rift, and we're talking a little bit about Rift, right? A little bit about JJPT. Lukey Boy's Symmetra looking extremely clean there, but you got to give some love to the supports, right? Todos doing an absolutely amazing job of staying alive on the Baptiste. I mean, keeping it consistent, making sure that the tank line was always being healed up. That's why they were able to have so much presence on the point. And I don't want to be you. Normally, like I think on that Kiriko as we saw a few weeks ago, but playing that Lucio, very survivable, doing a very good job appealing. There were a couple of situations, right, like you said, up on the coast where there were opportunities to boop. Didn't get greedy, didn't go for those, instead just played for the peel, played for the backline control, and it really worked there for Portsmouth. They're doing everything right now, but I don't want to jinx them. I don't want to curse them. We are going into a different map type now, so could change things up a little bit in terms of the dynamic, because like you say, we are going to that hybrid map. It looks like Kent have chosen potentially Paraiso here. That's not completely set in stone. We'll get to you on that, but if it is Paraiso, that actually changes things because that leans heavily into the Wrecking Ball style.
Yeah, it really does. That sort of the little narrow back alleys that you can sneak around and then just sort of dive the back line. It's got nice little bits of high ground that you can get up to really well for Wrecking Ball. So it'll be interesting to see if Abigail sticks with that. And they do seem like a very competent Wrecking Ball, so I don't see why they wouldn't. Also, it's a great map if you have any long range hit scans. The start of it, that little bit high ground. If you can stop them from even getting to the point, then it's even better than fighting on the point, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think another thing here for Kent especially is the chaotic nature of Paraiso. Like you say, you don't have to take all those fights on the point. You can use a lot of the map architecture, and I think that will really lend itself to more chaotic team fights. Now, I've said in past casts, in past weeks of Amazon University Esports, that I think Kent are a team that thrives off of chaos. If things are just all over the place and going completely askew, that is where they thrive. And if Portsmouth, if it's a team fight where it's like a 3v3 and Portsmouth have lost a bunch of players and they can't really stick together as much as they can on that Ryan comp, which doesn't really work on Paraiso, I really think that is where Kent can gain their advantages. They are very good at mechanically just outplaying the opposition in chaotic team fights, especially Cool Beans, who didn't get to mention pre-game, by the way, is, I think, the star player here for Kent alongside Abigail. Those two work really well together in their ball tracer synergy. I just don't think the map really allowed them to display it last map.
Yeah, well, there are plenty of teams who just don't really do well on that control point map, aren't there? We see it time and time again in the professional, like Overwatch League and such. They will absolutely flop on the first control point map, but then they will go on to do great things in all the other maps. And maybe Kentamine just aren't a control map type of team.
Yeah, for sure. Like, as well, I mean, it makes sense for Kentamine to do a bit better on maps where there's like moving terrain, right, where you're constantly changing where you're fighting instead of sort of I guess this is a very graphic way of putting it, banging your head into a brick wall and just completely going down the same route again and again, the same pathing to try and get to the point. It's going to be much different on Paraiso, where if you're on defense, you can choose when to attack, you can choose where you defend from. If you're on attack, there's a lot of different routes you can go, there's a lot of different pathings, and you can get a bit more creative with your engages, is what I'm trying to say here. Kent's engages are really clean when they get into the rhythm, but they really need to not let that first map get to them and keep that rhythm going.
Yeah, there's definitely some sparks of life in them in that first map, so I don't want them to feel completely disheartened already. There's still a potential, 4 or 5 maps in this. They can pull this back very easily. One map is not the be-all, end-all. Okay, so we are going to go into Caricio now, and let's see what sort of heroes we're going to come out with. Abigail straight on that ball again. I am not shocked by that at all. It seems they got a bit of a monkey here from JJPT potentially. Pretty good for diving up into those high grounds and taking up anybody who's standing there, which could be BBC Radio on that Widowmaker.
Yeah, very intriguing composition here from Portsmouth. They've got a strange mix between dive and like an anti-dive comp, right? You got JJPT here, who will basically be diving alone unless Todos wants to hard commit with JJPT every fight. And then everyone else can be playing in the backline on a high ground, just playing for anti-dive, where on the opposing side, we've got the same thing here from Kentamine, a bit of an adaptation, right? You got Cool Beans on that Widowmaker, but Abigail's still on the ball, BBC Radio still on the Sombra, and I think this will get counted out by the Portsmouth comp.
Yeah, you're going to take into account that Torbjorn Turn is going to be looking for BBC Radio on that Sombra all the time, and Abigail, every time they sneak into the back line, that turret is going to be ready for them. But the fight is about to commence here. I think Abigail had a little peek, maybe got a little bit beat down, and then ran away. Okay, that turret straight onto Abigail there. As they try to sneak around the back, they're not going to be able to touch the point. But everyone knows that Abigail's there. But, if they commit to going after them, then they are going to sort of leave their monkey all alone. Okay, just let the turret do all the work here. Oh, Abigail going to go down. Everybody turned around there. Everyone was ready to make that fight happen. And it did happen. And to kill a Wrecking Ball, you need more than one pair of hands, ideally. It is a bit of a beast, with that extra shield and everything on it.
Yeah, for sure here. And what you're seeing here from JJPT is a bit of a, using the high ground to their advantage. They know they don't have anyone else diving with them, so they're poking in and out, trying to distract the backline, so Abigail isn't getting the support they really need to make these dives happen.
Yeah, oh god, we've got an all-out brawl going on in the middle of that little tiny room there. And unfortunately, JJPT does go down, but Abigail is going to need someone to take care of that turret if they want to make a break. But any of them getting so low here. Oh, and finally going down, that turret just doing too much for them. Oh no, look boy, on an absolute tear with Torbjorn. Just going to squirt that lava all over the place and stop anybody else from sort of getting to the point. And the Ethan there just getting a little bit stuck under the bridge. Not sure where to go. Do we back off or do we just let ourselves be killed nice and quickly here? But we are going to have another contest in the point already. Abigail rolling around, causing as much havoc as they can. Backed up by BBC Radio, who was going to go down. Lovely shot there by Todos. Oh, Lucky Boy getting so much triple here, getting jumped by the Wrecking Ball, by the Discord even, and by the Kriko as well. And oh, hang on, JJPT is doing some absolute work there on the point, picking off everybody who the Kriko and the Wrecking Ball left alone. Are we going to see some mines coming out here, or are we just going to bully this monkey to death? Oh, Abigail is so low! Oh, that's a beautiful nade there as well. Purple couldn't get healed up by the Kriko, and that's going to be another team win there for Portsmouth.
Yeah, better spawns there for Portsmouth. I don't think Abigail was fated to win a 1v4, and so, again, Kent wondering where on earth they went wrong. They had control of the point, but they couldn't even get a tick. They've refused to use any ultimates up until this point, while Portsmouth, they're haphazardly using them. I mean, we've had the Torbjorn ult already been used, and Rift doesn't have it anymore, so it's going to be a big ult fight here, I think, for Kent, as long as they can engage properly with them. But look at how spread the Portsmouth side is. How is the CMP going to happen?
I think it's going to be a huge EMP. I feel like we're going to go straight in and get it. No, we're going to put the mines out first. And they are going to find the Anna here. But unfortunately, BBC Radio goes down, still holding on to that EMP. And now we're losing ultimates one by one here and still waiting for people to respawn. It's not ideal, but you've got to keep everyone alive. You can't afford to stagger anymore, which is unfortunately exactly what's happening here. They're getting picked up one by one, and they only have time for one more huge regroup here and go again.
Yeah, look at the peel there, though. Look at the pocket onto Rift, keeping them alive. Finally, they go down to Abigail and booped off the map, but Abigail trades their life for that one, and Rift will be back from spawn very shortly. And now the ultimates have tipped back into the favor of Portsmouth because of the two that were wasted in that last fight. Kent really need a strong engage. They just need to use a CMP, get a couple of kills off of it, and snowball it from there, but they got 15 seconds left to try and do it.
Yeah, they've got to be very careful here. They all don't want to get caught up in this EMP. But BBC Radio sneaking in, and here it goes. It got a couple of them. Oh, but they return EMP from Lucky Boy there. And I think it's safe to say that Lucky Boy was a little bit better as 2 people went down instantly. And they cannot touch the point. And that is going to be a full hold there from Portsmouth. Absolutely clinical.
It really was clinical. The way JJPT was playing in and out with those dives, disrupting the backline, and that like, it creates a dilemma here for Kent, right? Do you leave your backline to die and not have any support for later on in the team fight when Portsmouth regroup, or do you keep your backline alive? Abigail gets hounded down in the backline by that Torbjorn and later on the Sombra. It's a really big dilemma, which I think can only be solved by a more hard commit-esque composition by Kentamine, right? You have to commit with Abigail, or you have to defend your backline. You can't have half the team doing one thing, half the team doing the other, and so it's a huge dilemma where Portsmouth, they're exploiting that hugely. They're exploiting the lacking communication, the lacking unity of the Kentamine side.
Yeah, now Kentamine on the defense here, I do feel like maybe they'll defend a little bit better here. They kind of have an idea what's going to happen here. They're going to think, they played the Winston last time, maybe they're going to do it this time. Who is probably going to try and jump on Ethan straight away, so they've got to be ready for that peel. And Abigail needs not stray too far from the team, because when they do, the entirety of Portsmouth know that they can turn around and get that unattended Wrecking Ball. 5v1. I mean, Wrecking Ball is hard to kill, but 5 people do it together, it's very savable.
Yep, for sure. So I think it's all about that coordination, all about that target focus. But what it's also all about here for Portsmouth is their TP comp. This is exactly what we saw from them a couple times in previous weeks and again on Lijiang. So they're straight to the point. They're going to try and get that take as quickly as possible.
Okay, here we go. Straight onto that point with that teleporter. Oh, Todos has gone down. Some lovely shots there from afar. And they're all just hiding in that little house now, waiting to see if they can get a regroup or if they can survive without Todos. Probably not, as Baptiste is providing the main bulk of that healing. But they are sticking this out very well. Nobody's peeking, no one else is getting picked off, and they're just waiting for the Baptiste to come back.
Well, look at where BBC Radio is. They're ready to spawn camp anyone coming back, but it's still going to be, I think, a hard engage here from the TP up to the high ground.
Oh yeah, straight up the high ground, full team getting up there, just trying to pick up anyone, and they do get Cool Beans speeding onto them with that Lucio. Ethan has picked up Lucky Boy, but can they do it about the Symmetra, the trainer, DPS to DPS here? Big players here. Abigail is trying to knock anybody off and separate them from the rest of the team. Toriko has gone down as well, as not leaving them much healing and forward. Just Ethan. Oh, but the other two have to actually push to the other side of the point. They're not going to be able to get back very quickly there. Oh, lovely charge there. But oh, lovely charge. It just charged them straight off the point, and yeah, nobody touched. So that was quicker than expected.
Much quicker than expected. Like, Portsmouth are looking immaculate at the moment. That was a full hold, and then a less than 2-minute cap on Paraíso. Now, that is difficult. There's a lot of defender high ground on this map, and it feels like Kent's composition really should have been favored in dealing with a brawl composition. You're supposed to be able to rip open that brawl composition, disrupt these players who need to be sticking together and stacking, but Abigail was trying, and it wasn't working. The peel was there from Portsmouth again. Todos, I don't want to be you, keeping the rest of the squad alive. And even when a player went down, they had the discipline. They stabilized. They waited for another engage, TP'd up to the high ground, got an early kill, and it all snowballed from there. And that's exactly what Kent are lacking in their engages. They're lacking the unity. They're lacking the coordination as soon as that team fight starts in order to make the rest of the team fight go their way. And so we go into the half here, 2-0 for Portsmouth in a series we thought could go the full distance to 7 maps.
Yeah, it's looking like Portsmouth definitely had an advantage here, and like you say, it is that discipline. You lost your Baptiste, nobody else peaked, and they even put the turrets up inside that little room, so if anyone came in to try and get them, they'd get blasted by that, 6th player in the turret. So it's just brilliant from Portsmouth today, and I'm definitely seeing an incredibly strong team within them. What do you think Kent can do to sort of turn the tables here? It's going to be a tough one.
It's really got to be just a mental recoup after this break, figuring out what the issue was there, which, I mean, I can't look into their comms. I can't figure it out myself, but I can inference that it's probably the comms issue, right? It's probably the coordination there on the engages, as I said. So going into this break here, they're going to have to try and figure out how on earth they can fix that within the next 5 minutes, because we'll be seeing you in a few.
What is that?
It's cutting edge VR, Flynn.
It looks like it's something from the future, you know?
Flynn took a trip to future London, saw something she wasn't supposed to. Now people from there are trying to kill us.
Transcend humanity with Omen.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Amazon University Esports Overwatch final. And at the moment, as you can see, we are currently 2-0 to the Portsmouth Paladins against the University of Kent team, who have 0 at the moment. It's been a little bit one-sided at the moment, Toasty. Maybe a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, you can see the grimace on my face because I'll be real, and this is probably going to sound harsh. I'll be real on my expectations here. I mean, I expected more from Kent. They impressed me in previous weeks. They've made an incredible run through this lower bracket, and for it to go 0-2 at the half, not too great for them. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll say that they're not warmed up yet, all right? They're not warmed up. We're going to go to a better map for them. Everything will perfectly align and the stars will align for us to get a banger of a series here still. Even if it was a 4-0, I still think it would be a banger of a series. I think Kent have a lot more fight in them yet, especially on a map like Rialto, which will lend itself more to that Wrecking Ball comp. I did say that about Paraíso. I cursed it. I'm hoping it reverse curses it this time around and they will actually do well on the Wrecking Ball comp, because it's not like Abigail's bad at Wrecking Ball. It's not like Cool Beans is bad at the Tracer, or BBC Radio 1's bad at the Sombra, or Ethan and Orange are bad at the Kiriko Lucio. It's just a case of synergizing as a team, right?
Yeah, and I know that a lot of the chat that we've got in the stream tonight, they believe in the reverse sweep. Toasty, do you believe in the reverse sweep?
Well, for it to be a reverse sweep, Rialto has to go the way of Portsmouth, because it has to be a full-map reverse sweep in a best-of-7, which means everyone in chat, if you want Portsmouth to win this map, I guess go for it. Be my guest, right? Be Portsmouth believers. I wouldn't blame you. They've been looking incredible so far. Lukey Boy, especially, I think, on that Symmetra, been impressing. And now, onto this Pharah. Now, I knew that Portsmouth were going to play this on a Rialto because we saw this from them just weeks ago. This Ashe Pharah, like, weird mix with a Brawl. I questioned it back when they actually played it a couple weeks back. I'm not going to question it now after seeing Lukey Boy just dominating the opposition. Lukey Boy's Pharah is something to behold, and you're going to see it.
I'm looking forward to it. I've seen Lukey Boy on a few characters today, and they've all been pretty good. Lukey Boy is a fantastic DPS player by the looks of it. Pocketed potentially by that Mercy as well. It's going to be a good one. Okay, 5 seconds to go. Abigail on that Wrecking Ball again. Maybe hoping to get a cheeky boop into the river or something. We're about to find out. Rolling straight over the bridge here. He's going for that back line with an absolute vengeance here. Yes, Lukey Boy. Are we going to get a cheeky pick on that back line who are unattended by their tank? Where is Abigail going? What are they cooking? I think they're looking for Todos there.
Yeah, early power drive comes in there from Abigail, so you're just going to see an easy sleep come through there. Todos, again, doing very well at protecting the back line, and so a lot of chaos, a lot of disruption, but Lukey Boy just thrives in the middle of it, right? This Pharah, very good at dealing in these situations with the chaos and just pushing onto the back line. It's exactly what we saw from on the Rush comp, and it happens here on the Pharah again, where Lukey Boy gets too much free reign, I think.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick something to maybe try and counter them. We think Cool Beans on that Cassidy. Are they good enough to take down Lukey Boy? I don't know. Lukey Boy's really using that cover very well, you know, just sneaking up and down behind the buildings there, making it difficult for anyone to hit them. Here comes Abigail again. Definitely trying to get one pick yet. Ripped solo. Oh, BBC Radio nearly finished them off there when they got pushed out of that building and into the open there. But it's a little bit carnage here. Lukey Boy, meanwhile, just blasting everybody down who hasn't got any cover whatsoever. BBC Radio is going to look for a quick pick. Oh, Lukey Boy. That damage boosted shot right into their face. BBC Radio won there. Now, team, they are going to have to regroup here. This is not going very well for them.
this is just like this is just nasty stuff from Portsmouth. Like, they have the backline presence of Todos and Rift just dominating the sightlines. They have JJPT standing on the point who can't be moved, just an immovable force here. And then you've got Lukey Boy and I Don't Want to Be You, the dynamic duo in the sky, just ripping through the backline. Ethan can't catch a break. Orange W having to heal for everyone at once with so many threats on board. And no ultimates online thus far, so there's no real engaged tactic. It's just pile drive and hope for a tracer dive.
Yeah, I'll think what we're going to try and do again. Oh, nano boost onto Lucky Boy here. Oh, and he's just going to tear everybody down who's in the way. But Kariko just narrowly escapes. Oh, the stick from the bomb, from the Cassidy bomb there, I think went onto Lucky Boy, and then a quick shot fired them down. Valkyrie is enabled right now, but I don't want to be. You can get close enough to get the res off. It's a little bit dangerous than Cool Beans maybe camping the body. Bob is going to make their appearance. Oh, the red did come off on Todos there. Great from I Don't Want to Be You. Bob is out and Bob is active. Not finding any kills at the moment. I think everyone's being very cautious about where they're hiding from this auto-aim monster of an Omnic here. But oh, Lucky Boy, beautiful rocket barrage, getting the 2 support down. Abigail needs to go back to spawn and just have a think. They need to do something about, well, pretty much everyone on this Portsmouth team.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really boil it down to just one person, because everyone's playing their part right now. It's the fact that Todos is so survivable. It's the fact that JJPT is doing such a good job of pressuring the backline while Lukey Boy puts in consistent pressure. There's so many factors to consider here. And Kent have one, maybe 1.5 team fights to make something work. This Kiriko ultimate has to be the thing to start this fight.
Yeah, and once this goes off, everyone needs to use it as best they can. Cool Beans getting caught in that little corridor by those rockets from the Barra. Dangerous place to be. Is this Kariko pass going to come off? Is it going to happen? Everyone needs to get on it and make something happen here. Make something major happen. Ethan has gone down. You've lost your machine guns Zenyatta on that path, which is, you know, so much damage. It's so fun to do. I do love being Zenyatta on the Kariko Kitsune rush. But they have to stop pushing. They have to stop pushing this point. Nobody is there. At least nobody who can probably survive the absolute barrage that they're about to throw onto them. We still have the Earth Shattered Nano Boost. It's all going on. It's going to be very dangerous for them. Is anyone even touching?
Yeah, I mean, JJPT just standing on the point, forcing everyone away from it, just being a menacing presence. The shadow goes down, but actually Cool Beans clutching up a bit there.
Okay, we finally have a bit of a turning point here. Cool Beans actually severely popped off on that Kitsune rush. But I do feel like Portsmouth have another opportunity to stop this from taking the first checkpoint, and they don't want it to take the checkpoint. That's extra time. They want to go and have their dinner.
You've got to have a touch from Lukey Boy here, I think, or JJPT charging in on the Rhine. There's a Bob here that can touch as well, but no! They step up the points!
Oh! No! Why, Kent? Why?
Score
They just...
0-0.
I don't have words. What happened? They just decided they didn't want to push it anymore.
They made the conscious decision. They stepped off. That's a big old Charlie Niner right there. Chat,
Oh,
you can spam
no.
it. You got permission.
That you hate to see it, especially in a final like this tonight. It's not perfect, but you know what? It nearly made first checkpoint, and I'm sure we've all won competitive games that looked like this before. It can still happen. It's difficult, but it can still definitely happen. All they gotta do is just hold a little bit better, and that is perfectly doable with the right composition. But let's see what they're bringing out. It's a wrecking ball. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I'm not shocked it's the Wrecking Ball here. Abigail's comfort pick, but in all reality, yeah, it's winnable here, right? That very last-minute hero push, I guess, teamfight win from Cool Beans with the help of the Kitsune Rush, like you said, that gives them a bit more breathing room, okay? They can afford to lose one team fight, and that is if the payload doesn't get too far in the team fight they lose, right? They need to die on cart, they need to reset quickly, and take a second fight at that checkpoint. So it's going to be hard, but Kent's defense is what it comes down to. Can they control the space effectively? Can they prevent JJPT from being a menace to the backline? And the same with Lukey Boy, like we saw on that defense.
Yeah, see Cool Beans on that Sojourn there. Now, this is a character who really doesn't get nerfed very much at all. Still extremely strong, so it should be good to see. Oh, that was nearly a brilliant boop there from Abigail. Nearly getting ripped into the water, but a quick response there from Todos, you know, with the sleep, with the nade, and Abigail has to back off here. We see the big monkey, JJPT, diving into that back line here, just trying to get a cheeky little pick onto his post. No Zenyatta here from Ethan this time, going on to Lucio. A little bit more survivability, a little bit more speed, and runaway ability. That's definitely not a real word. But yeah, Ethan might survive a little bit more. Cool Beans did go down, but that soldier and slide, they can get back very quickly. The rest of the team just have to be very careful about not dying, and it looks like that is not happening, unfortunately for them. They need to hold this point, regroup, hold the point really hard now.
It's such a dynamic composition here from Portsmouth, though. I mean, JJPT diving into the backline, distracting, Rift and Lukey Boy, making use of long angles to pressure out the squishies, and so it puts a massive, again, dilemma on Ken on how they want to play this, but they have one team fight to figure it out, alright? They have no ultimates, they've got a neutral fight to take, and the payload is already approaching the checkpoint.
Yeah, they're going to start making a move for this right now and stopping it from getting any further forward, and that's what they're trying to do. Oh no, Abigail has gone down, just not enough healing onto them. There's just so much damage going on elsewhere. The nano boost onto Lukey Boy, gonna absolutely tear through everybody who steps into the path here. Nobody can get even close to the fight without getting absolutely destroyed by that nano boost with Farah, and that is going to be Portsmouth taking the third map 3-0. Another convincing fashion. Would it have been so convincing if Kent hadn't stepped off the point? I don't know, but we see a Cool Beans play the game here. I know this was absolutely their turning point. Very well done.
Yeah, it absolutely was for Ken, okay? This clutch from Cool Beans, very clean, very clinical. But what we want to see from Ken is that happening every fight, right? Having Portsmouth be in a position where Cool Beans can just sit on a high ground and click heads. Having Portsmouth be in a position where Abigail can just go rampant on that wrecking ball alongside Cool Beans and BBC Radio, supporting them on that DPS line. With Ethan and Orange W surviving every fight. These are the things that Kent need for the teamfight wins to happen. But Portsmouth are too clean, too clinical. They're not going to let themselves be disrupted. They're not going to let these fights go chaotic the way that Kent want them to. I've said this in past series we've seen of Kent. They love chaos, and currently it's completely the wrong type of chaos. It's calculated chaos. Portsmouth are doing so well at controlling the tempo, at controlling space, that Kent don't really have any breathing room. I mean, there was I was going to laugh at this earlier, but I figured I'd save it till now. There was a situation earlier where everyone from Kent was like just in a concave trying to surround Portsmouth positioning wise. And then there was just a Kiriko having to duel a Reinhardt on the point. I mean, that is not the type of chaos you want here for Kent.
No, Portsmouth have been like really setting up these fights themselves. I think they've been sort of taking the lead on it. They've been very much in control. They've been picking up the right person at the right time. I think they are just incredibly calculated and incredibly skillful at every hero they've picked. Can definitely have some potential here, but I just think Portsmouth are incredibly strong right now. But did they just throw it 3-0 so we could see a reverse sweep and so we could get an absolutely banger of a match tonight?
Yeah, potentially. You know, tactical play here from Kent is all we'll say, all right? They stepped off the point just so we could have our reverse sweep, just so we could cast another 4 maps of brilliant Overwatch, and Kent are suddenly going to ramp up, they're going to get that momentum going, and they're going to bring the fight to Portsmouth. That is what we're hoping for here, and it would be a big switch up from their current gameplay, I'll say. Mainly, again, just because of the synergy issue, but when you're backed into a corner like this, right? They have to make a last stand. They really have to make this final, potentially final map anyway, count. This is where the reverse sweep needs to happen. It is going to go, I believe, to a push map. So this is going to be a lot of back and forth. It's going to be a lot of scrappy fights across a lot of different map terrain. It is going to be very difficult, I think, for Kent to pull off. But if anyone's going to pull off a reverse sweep like this, it's got to be Kent.
I mean, Kent love chaos. Push maps can be complete chaos, can't they? Just everything flying everywhere, everyone battling for control over that robot. But you do find when you're on the back foot on a push map, it is quite hard to recover, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's why it'll come down to the first few fights of push, okay? I think Kent, if they can get a leg up early, if they can get a couple of team fights under their belt, maybe hit 50, 60, 70 meters on that bot, I think you're looking pretty solid there in terms of getting the win on a push map. The issue comes if they lose the first fight and then are constantly fighting to try and gain that meterage back. And so it really comes down to how they kick off this next map here, which by the looks of things, Ethan has said it in chat, it is going to be Esperanza, which I think is a solid pick. I think it prevents Portsmouth from playing some crazy like Reinhardt TP stuff because you got so much high ground to utilize here. I mean, this is the Wrecking Ball Winston map where you can facilitate a lot of dives pretty easily. I wouldn't put it past Portsmouth to play the Reinhardt, though. I mean, I've said this before. Like, it's their signature comp.
Yeah, but since Abigail's signature hero is this Wrecking Ball, so if this is Wrecking Ball Playground, then maybe we can see what has been promised to Abigail so many times and just denied by, annoying things like a sleep dot, told us what, just let Abigail have their fun, But yeah, Esperanza, I don't see it very often. You've definitely seen New Queen Street a lot more, even Coliseo in these map picks. So I'm excited to see Esperanza. I'm excited to see what these teams come out with. And if it is a Reinhardt comp, I'd be interested to see how they manage to pull this off as well. Like you say, a lot of high ground, Reinhardt doesn't fly.
Yeah, I mean Reinhardt. I mean Reinhardt can't fly unless you have a Symmetra, which Lukey Boy we know. Lukey Boy loves their Symmetra, and I think that is like it lends itself to why we've seen so much Reinhardt today. I think Portsmouth love to play that dynamic sort of Reinhardt TP into the backline comp. We said it on Paraiso, they shouldn't have been able to play it, but they did. But alas, we will have to wait and see whether they play that or not because we have a little bit of a bio break here for the teams. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome back, everybody. And we are just about ready to go into the fourth and potentially final map of this Overwatch series tonight. But we are going to have to wait and see if Kent are going to make a dramatic reverse sweep recovery. Toasty, how do you feel?
I mean, listen, if a reverse sweep is going to happen, it's going to happen after a coincidental 5-minute bio break by Ken, all right? They're cooking. I'll say they probably had time to reevaluate what they're doing, maybe come up with a counter comp to whatever on earth Portsmouth are doing. So they've had time to cook, and they are going to Esperance. It is fully confirmed that we are heading in right now. And I think Portsmouth here are going to want to play either that Winston composition that they did so well on Rialto, where it's not really a dive comp as much as it is just JJPT inting and everyone else sort of doing their own thing. Or they're going to play that Reinhardt comp we were talking about, right? With that Symmetra and having the TP, and JJPT gets in there and dominates the backline, which is why I think the Zen would be a little bit of a bad decision here for Ken. I want to see more of a dynamic Kiriko Lucio sort of thing.
Yeah, the Lucio survived a little bit better for Ethan on that last map. But Zenyatta Discord Orb, it's just so good, isn't it? I absolutely love tearing down an entire tank with a Discord Orb and Zenyatta, and it can be done. But it looks like we are going to roll out with the Lucio on both teams here. The sooner you get to that robot, the sooner you can start pushing them. After your unlocks, of course. But yeah, a May from Lucky Boy. I haven't seen that one yet. How does that one go down for him?
Lukey Boy has played the May, I think, a total of once in Amazon University Esports, on stream at least, so I think this is going to be an interesting one. I reckon it'll work out, potentially. There's not really many chokes other than this first one you see here to really wall off the enemy tank, especially when it's Abigail, so you know, the mobility I reckon Wall has, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, here comes the first fight. Abigail coming in with the lovely wall there from Lucky Boy. Abigail gets so low, but nearly escaped, and that wall went down, but not quite. Losing the tank so early in the fight, and the rest of the team of Kent are desperately trying to push just that little bit, see if they can get any cheeky pick from afar, but they're not going to, and the robot is going to start getting pushed into their half, and the team is going to be incredibly split here, with a few people still straggling on the other side of the map as the robot gets pushed up into their spawns.
Yeah, Lukey Boy definitely proving me wrong there with the May wall, being able to deal with Abigail effectively on the Wrecking Ball, who now goes over to the Reinhardt for a Reinhardt mirror. This is what I've wanted to see, right? A Reinhardt mirror just going at each other's throats.
Yeah, it looks like we have got pretty much mirrored teams now. We have the May on both teams, the Cassie on both teams, Baptiste, Lucio, and of course the Ryan here. So this should be a good fight. Lovely wall there from Lucky Boy, and a lovely one from BBC Radio, keeping everyone at bay here. Oh, and that was a lovely little attack from Cool Beans there. Managed to get JJPT, but the rest of the Portsmouth team, they're going to avenge their fallen Reinhardt brother, and they're going to continue pushing this, and they are going to get the checkpoint here. And that looks like it was going okay for Kent as they got rid of the Reinhardt, but it just wasn't to be.
It was a high ground diff, right? Everyone on Portsmouth had high ground and was able to shoot down on the Kent squad, who were just overcommitted to taking out JJPT. And so losing the Reinhardt doesn't matter when they're the only person on the ground. It was a really good, I think, positional play there from Portsmouth. As now we'll get a re-engage with Matrix.
Okay, here comes the Outmare. It's lovely blocked off mostly by BBC Radio, but still just a little tiny corner there to shoot through. But the entire team backs off around the corner, so they are not taking any of that amplified damage. However, the Portsmouth team will just run straight into them wherever they try and hide, and they're going to have to back off again. Okay, Abigail comes in with a huge charge, saves it with Ethan's speed boost there. Oh, it's a brilliant shot there from JJPT, and that hammer just swings around, trying to cleave everybody down. I don't think it's going to be enough to take anybody down just yet with that immortality field, but nope, eventually the Blizzard's going to come out as well from both teams. Not quite finding anybody from BBC Radio, however. Oh, that hammer from JJPT! Absolutely devastating. Oh, no, from BBC Radio. Didn't quite make it out.
Yeah, I mean, this is just utter chaos. We get Abigail just investing a Shadow 1v5 now at this point to try and make a clutch play. It's 110 meters. There's absolutely no way the series ends in Portsmouth getting a full cap on Esperanza. They have one fight now to try and do it, and they still have ultimates. Todos is going to have an Amp Matrix. JJPT can build a Shadow off of that. And what do Kent have to show for it? A high noon? They've got to make this one count.
It's going to have to be absolutely huge here. You see JJPT just standing there on that point as they did on Rialto. Lovely immortality field coming out from the Baptiste, and that amplification matrix so so much damage. Absolutely going to tear through anybody who stands there. They have to stand there. They have no choice. The point is going to take over and touch. And finally, oh, the little Mary block keeping it in place because an extra couple of seconds. It's not going to be as long enough. Everybody definitely running out for the little touch here and there. It's not going to be enough though. It's holding on to it for DLA. Oh, JPT going to try and charge Abigail off the point. Immortality Field surviving them for just an extra second here. But we nearly have that shatter. But I don't think anybody is going to survive. Everyone just on 1 HP here, coming up with DLA BBC Radio. Ethan, fastest character, just touching, just tickling the point. Not going to let it go, but JJPT just shattering in phone as they are finally going to push it over. And that is it. Portsmouth, super clean, super quick. 4-0, your champions.
I cannot believe what I have just witnessed. Portsmouth, the dominance, the energy, JJPT dropping a spawn shatter. I mean, Portsmouth are deserving of this victory, I'll tell you that much. They just showed dominance throughout the series, map after map after map after map, and it just ended up with that, a full completion on Esperanza. That took about 4.5 minutes for them to do. That is an incredible finish to a series that Portsmouth had control of the entire way through. They are very much deserving of being the Amazon University Esports champions, and I think big congratulations to them for just their run through the upper bracket, their run through this series, and that final map being so dominant and so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, clean as you like. Kent didn't really get a touch on it whatsoever. And like you said, the spawn shatter. You know, you said it was going to be a good series. We maybe expect a little bit of backwards and forwards, but a spawn shatter. You know, what more could you want for something that cheeky? You know, that disrespectful. But you gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the end of the series. They had basically won at that point. You can't blame JJPT for dropping a bit of a Chad spawn shatter. And Ken, I can't imagine they're going home from this feeling too happy with their performance today. But I think what they can take away from it is they tried their best. They had some really good moments, some shining moments for Cool Beans. I think Abigail and BBC Radio as well didn't put up a terrible performance. And the backline, for the fact that Portsmouth were constantly attacking that backline, I think they tried their best and they got their value. So, Ken, really unfortunate they take a 0-4 loss here. But Portsmouth, I mean, their dominance was just too much to handle. They were looking clean, clinical throughout the entire series. And generally, I think they deserve it. You know, we always see Portsmouth or Warwick in the finals of Amazon University Esports. And I think it quite attests to how long they've been together, how dominant they are, and that there's no one who can really, other than each other, right? Other than Portsmouth and Warwick, they can really stand up to each other. But it's the fact that Kent actually beat Warwick, so big congratulations to them on that, at least in that lower bracket. It's a shame they couldn't get the victory here, of course, in the finals, but the fact they made it to the finals, big congratulations to both teams. I think they both played a brilliant game.
Yeah, you gotta say something for Kent. You know, they got this far, they got to the final,
Yeah.
and like you say, it's usually a 2-horse race with Portsmouth and Kent, Warwick. So for Kent to be here and to beat that, you know, second favourite team, you know, well done for getting here, Kent. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way today, but we definitely saw some amazing players for you today, and best of luck for next time as well. But Portsmouth, wow, what a team! Absolutely incredible, and like I said, it was a complete clean, clinical every map, wasn't it? Very quick. Look, they made it look really easy.
Yeah, it did look easy. I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure everyone's sweating right now after an intense game, but that isn't it for tonight, folks. Make sure you stick around because pretty shortly we're going to have an interview with JJPT, the one and only, the Reinhardt Shad from Portsmouth Paladins. So we're going to get that interview in pretty shortly. Going to take a short break before that, so stay tuned. You will not want to miss this post-game content.
We are here with the Giga Chad main tank. It's JJPT, fresh off that win. How do you feel, JJPT?
Yeah, feeling all right. I feel like the kind of work we put in as a team recently is, shown very evidently. So
Yeah, absolutely, evidently. Did you expect it to be that clean and that quick tonight?
no, not at all. Yeah, because Warwick's basically our arch nemesis. So we kind of figured if they beat Warwick, then it might be quite tough. But yeah, safe to say, I think we would have struggled more against Warwick than that.
Ooh, interesting. I'm sure Warwick are listening out to this and they're going to be like, all right,
Yeah.
okay, we see you there. So you and the team, you've been together for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, it's I think almost 4 years now. So
Yeah. And do you scrim very often with them?
I wouldn't say scrum. We've been doing open division recently, and then yeah, I mean, if we're getting kind of worried, we'll scrim once or twice. But I think all in all, over the season, we've done 4 scrims for this, and then the rest has been other tournaments. So
So no practice, only battle. Only
yeah,
real battle,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
I mean, it definitely showed tonight. So would you like to give a big thanks to anybody in particular on your team today?
Well, Todos, and I before, well, pretty much the whole season, I lost a bet to him. So my name was Todos Fan 01, and I've been trying to keep that going. But yeah, I mean, the whole team, honestly, have done very well. And, Lukey pulling everyone together, Rift kind of being like the shot caller and kind of fight manager. And then Toxicinator, who is asleep right now, he didn't make it. But he's like our manager, basically, and kind of like an extra set of brain as well. And he's been really helpful. But yeah, mainly Todos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Taurus are keeping you alive all the time as well.
Yeah, basically.
When you just proper into the team,
It's a
just go a bit
beautiful
crazy.
key. The beautiful key,
Yeah.
the left shift button.
Yeah. I mean, I know that a good tank and support duo are just, like that,
Yeah.
aren't they? Brilliant. Toasty, anything you want to ask our champion?
Well,
sorry.
oh no, sorry. I mean, I thought that was directed at me.
Yeah, no,
do you
it
have anything
was.
you want to ask
Yeah.
us? I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Toros. I love him. I just wanted to throw that in one more time, but yeah.
I also
Aw.
love Todos. I'm Todos fan 02, if that counts for anything.
100%.
No, but JJPT, well, your team, obviously this is prize playoffs, so you do get a £100 Amazon voucher each.
Yeah.
Any ideas what you guys are going to spend it on?
Well, I'm looking to upgrade my PC at the moment because I'm running quite old stuff. As for the rest of them, I have no idea what they want to do with it, but I'm sure it will go somewhere good.
Yeah, Amazon does have everything. So
Yeah,
you get anything you like from that.
literally.
Okay, so congratulations again, JJPT, and to your entire team.
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal, and throughout the whole series as well. Has there been any moments where you think, oh, we might not make this? Because you look pretty clean.
Yeah, I don't want to be toxic, but yeah, honestly, it was just kind of, yeah, our comms, safe to say, kind of toned down after the first couple maps. We were just feeling kind of more relaxed and just going with the flow. So yeah, I don't think there was really any other doubt during the series.
Yeah, definitely today you have looked incredible, and I think you guys can definitely go far in the open division as well. So how's that going for you so far?
I think at the moment we've had 2 losses to kind of some decent teams. We had a very narrow one on Sunday, and it was literally like double OT. But yeah, I mean, overall, we've been beating teams with top 20 players all out, so it's not been too bad.
Brilliant. Okay, so I think that's all the questions I've got for our champion tonight. Anything else for you, Toasty?
I'm all good. Yeah, no, I mean, just again, congratulations, JJPT. It's been great having you on for the interview. It's been great watching your Reinhardt gameplay.
Yeah. It's inspirational, safe to say.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, so we will just go to a quick break now where we just, oh, there we go. Goodbye, JJPT. All right. That was brilliant. So thank you so much for that interview as well. And everybody loves Todos, I think, is the main takeaway from that one. Yeah.
Well, I guess that finishes it off for us today, right, Susie? Yeah, I don't know if you've got any other finishing words before our broadcast finishes.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely incredible. Thank you, Toasty, and thank you all of the production team behind the scenes. Everybody's been absolutely incredible. So thank you all for being here. So you've been watching the final of the Overwatch Amazon University Esports UK and Ireland Spring 2023. So thank you again to our sponsors, Prime Video, Prime Student, and Omen for making this all possible. It has been so much fun to be casting here with you today, Toasty. So thank you very much.